Hello Blender folks, welcome and welcome back. I'm Pxy-CLASS and we are continuing this session of this class of the multiple setups for this Eyelids rig. And so I was investigating last session. Someone in the chat named Prince, he mentioned something about action bound constraints, that it would be simpler than that. And I've seen some references. So what I've decided is that for now I'm not gonna make the version like an additional setup. Where would it be? Bone layers, yes, layer management. Where is that? Where are the... Oh, this is Blender 4. Okay, sorry. We need the Blender 3.6 LTS. Now, yes, so here, alright. Now, there it is. So basically, yes, so it could be good, but since I don't have yet experience action bound constraint for Eyelids rig, so maybe this is something for the future. So that means that I can continue this lesson with additional inputs and improve the file, right? But I'm not gonna do this here because I don't have enough experience. It would be too experimental. But what I found out, and it seems fundamental, is that yes, apparently if we have an action bound constraint, we can make a blink animation, right? I blink animation, and then yeah, we preset this animation, and then even with without the shrink wrap thing, we can have the feature, we can have the mesh following, yes. But then what seems to be possible is to tweak certain bones, like deformed bones, like it would be like that, on while we are using the action bound constraint or the action itself. So I'm not sure exactly. Yeah, I believe if we create a blink animation, regular one, right, then in the middle of animation maybe we can keyframe some deformed bones there, on my case, right? So yes, the most interesting thing is that we can use the action bound constraint. It may have different functionalities. So it can be used to solve the shrink wrap or snapping issue of the eyelids, which is the one of the hard problems, right, of eyelids rigs. So we can use the action bound constraint for that. It won't block our capability of making tweaks, but the problem is that if the system itself of the eyelids rig don't have from the deformed bones themselves a shrink wrap, a snapping feature, then these tweaks might actually sometimes be difficult to handle, because we can provoke interpenetrations. And so the idea here is that, yeah, we can have, even if I'm not doing this with an action bound constraint, we could have a blink action, right, like a normal rig, right? So that will be for 3D animation, but then this action bound constraint would control these bones, right? In principle, the control bones, and it will make the eye blink. And if I need to make any adjustments, right, I still, on this setup, I still have the possibility of manipulating this through proportional posing. Aha! So this is why I've made this, and I wasn't aware about this interaction, that the bones and action bound constraints can actually be manipulated later, just as we can here. So but if the bones don't have, yeah, so I'm repeating, if the bones don't have themselves, if the mesh or the bones don't have shrink wrap feature, it might not be as solid transforms here, because they can ultimately generate interpenetrations between the eyelids mesh and the eye mesh. While on this system I'm avoiding this through the shrink wrapping features, right? So this is a safety system, right, against interpenetrations. Well, it's not always, because we might incur on some issues here, which I'm not totally sure why this is happening. Interestingly, as I move up, yeah, they lag behind. And as I keep moving this, oh, maybe because they need their other, yeah, the other bones on the side need follow up, right? It needs follow up from other bones, so it didn't finish the system here. So alright folks, so what I'm doing here, I want to complete this last setup, and it's here, the deformed bones, but for some reason they are in the wrong spot. Let's fix that real quick. So select and select, move this to this bone layer. There we go. And now, okay, control bones and deform. Actually, we might want to have, yeah, bring everything here to the same layer, because it's the same setup, right? So we don't want this. So setup 3B. Alright, so here what I need to do is complete the proportional posing. So here, let's see, this is working in the yeah, this is having influence on this, so this is good. So this bone, this control here is set. The question, wouldn't we like to have this bone affect this one? Maybe, maybe not. What about a very, very tiny influence, right folks? Maybe, that could be interesting. So this already has an influence in relation here, yeah, so we can perhaps copy, Control C, so just the copy transform 01. Yeah, if I don't rename this, so what is this bone is that one, right? The copy transforms in this case must come before the shrink wrap. So I need to rename those things, and oh, I forgot to delete, to clean up this. Yeah, these don't need. So these, the deformed bones just has a copy transform to the to their control bone here. All right. Then this control bone, it might have two copy transforms. So this is the what would be this one? The top. Yeah, the top left 001, and well, this would be like top left. No, this is inverted, this is all incorrect. This is to the middle one, so top left. No, this is correct. There's no. Okay. Accepted. This is 0 target 003, right? No, target 0. The armature has a. Okay, I've renamed the armature wrongly. So armature 03, right? So this 03, all right, and this 01. So this is higher priority. There we go. So the largest influence could be. Well, we already edited this, so we don't bother with that. But we can still play with that, so we could maybe augment the influence here. Maybe not. All right. And this only influences. Oh, shouldn't mistake that. So how can we avoid these mistakes? Yeah, if I had the control bones with a special. Yeah, let's give them some. Yeah, you know what? Let's give them some. First time I'm doing this time it seems to be very relevant. So empty arrows, cube. Yeah, cube is okay. So we get this thing accepted. Let's bring this to the word origin. Empty cube. That's it. We can hide that. Then we pick all these bones. Then viewport display. No, it's on the bone tab. Viewport display, custom shape, empty cubes for all of them. And well, it's a mess. Then scale to bone length. Apparently not helping too much, so let's just scale this down. Tiny cubes there should do. And also let's bring them, let's cheat, let's make them offset forwards. Yeah. Yeah, and then this means that these bones, maybe I have exaggerated, and then what I can do, pick all the other bones except for them, deselect this group, and let's scale b-bone stuff, scale down. Okay, now I think this is much cleaner. Okay, it's easier to not make any mistake, although these are wireframed. We're not supposed to be looking at the deformed bones in this rig, so but we're looking them because it's cool for proportional posing, right? We want to see what is happening. But in animation, we only need these bones, right? Look how smooth this is, right? And we are not using spline skinning. We're not using bendy bone splines to do this. So this is the first time I get some. Well, no, not first time, because this setup. Also, well, there's a hybrid setup, so let's say it doesn't really count. Yeah, no bendy bone, not even as a mechanism bone here, so this is Very, very good, very, very intriguing. So I think something is missing. I have a setup 2. I believe these bones here are not being deformed bones. No, they are. Okay, so alright, so never mind. Let's go back here. So we need to complete this thing. So what we need, I was renaming this stuff, right? So oh, it appears that, yeah, because I have copied, you see, I can, do I want this bone here to, no, this will be static. I don't want, yeah, these are major bones, although this is very important too. I want this to be stuck here, but I want it to have some influence nonetheless on that one. So this is the first one. Let's, okay, so make by order, right, from left to right. So this means that this is correct, but we need to copy this name here. We see that's the same, and here, yes, but we want a very minute influence here. So this means that, yeah, it will move if we drag this one, but it will be small inputs, right? It also rotates, so this is additional, and we can derotate, and we can yeah, so this is pretty cool, but let's continue here. So now let's just copy that, right? Copy. Is this okay to copy? Yes, there's nothing here, so let's just copy selected, but we're gonna shift, of course. We don't want actually this bone to influence this. We could, but I'll do differently. So this will be the 2. No, this is called 3. Yeah, so this 3, and that will be 5. And also we need to bring the shrink wrap down after, because this is how this system works. Collapsing this might be easier to understand what's going on, to read, for readability. Then, alright, let's see here. We need to change the target here. We can also make a test. So how strong is this influence? We can set the same here as this one. Maybe for this bone it's a bit too much, so let's just reduce slightly. This looks better, slightly better, okay. Then, so you see, it's not necessarily better to have exactly the same, the geometry is different elsewhere, so you need to make adaptation. And then, yeah, I would be tempted to get the outer one first in this case, because it's more important one. So let's change this logic. So this will be the primordial one, and we want so this means, yeah, we want this as a target, and so it also moves there. But is that motion good enough? Maybe more. And if we are not satisfied, we can still manipulate this. Yeah, so Alright, I think this is fine. So this one has this one and the one in the middle. And we can have that the one in the middle also have, so let's duplicate this, change this as 0.5 and change the target here. I think it's already set to this, and this influence here, why not, we can maintain the same. Good. So, and these don't move. Yeah. So looks good. So what I can do now is try to, since these ones have no bone constraints at all, yeah, the ones on the corners don't have, so what I can do is like I can simplify this stuff. Let's copy these, but yeah, it's okay, it won't displace because it's local spaces there. So better this way, we don't have, they stay in place, right? So we don't care, we don't have to find our bones, they won't go stacking in the same place, right? Then we have to do this to find them. So this will be easier. So let's change the targets here. This will be a bit annoying. So this is the 001, but for the bot we'll have, yeah, we'll change this later. So this is the target here. We don't change the values yet. And this will be the target here. And we need to put this down. Yeah. Okay, I have another idea. Let's change the names first and reorganize these stacks, right? Yes, shrink wrap in the end, shrink wrap in the end, shrink wrap in the end. So this will be bot 5, and yeah, it actually we copy this. One, yeah, so this is the 3, this is the 1. This has nothing, so we start by, let's target this, yes, make sure it's the bottom one, the bottom target. This one also has one to the bottom target. Now this bone here is the 03, so it has this one. This is already done. This has one for the bottom target. And now we need for this target, we are addressing the values as the last thing. Yeah, so I believe this is the, so let's see how it is working. This is moving too much, I think, so in relation to the first, let's reduce that amount of influence. We could have here a bone that can manipulate both of these, so this will be a simple parenting, so we can have this just as for this, so maybe we can do that, but ideally we want to manipulate this separately. Then here, alright, here this is moving too much or too little. I'm not sure, so let's give that value here. Alright. Yeah, this looks good. Good enough. And for this case, is this moving? What about this one? Is this moving enough? Maybe I want more motion for the 0.3 here. Maybe slightly more. That's a lot, but yeah, okay, this looks good. Then it's moving too much in relation to the outer one, so let's reduce. Looks good. And so did we assess? Yeah, we need to see. So this is moving this one, and this one is also moving regarding here very little. And good. So we could have this influenced by this and vice versa, but I think that will be dangerous. Sometimes we just don't want. So because these are the corner one, they are very important for shaping the overall thing. So we want them to be static. So what I can do here is indeed I can get between those bones. No, actually, can we select, yeah, this middle here? We're gonna create a bone right there. We are going to alright, this is annoying, but we're going to do this. So these bones will be what we'll do here. This is the only parenting relation that I will know about. I hope this. So these bones don't have any bone constraint, but here we wait. They are not. How is it possible that? Oh, the parenting transform is not affecting the indirect. Of course, there's no parenting relation whatsoever inside this rig, so this is why parenting is not working here. So instead of parenting, this could be a problem to the rig that I might have to fix later. So we will use bone constraints for this connection. So but first I need to make sure this starts there, right? So it's like copying the shrink wrap, right? Alright, it's that, and then I need to sort of apply this, but is that same thing. We want disable that, duplicate, we want 0, duplicate, we want 0, that's correct. Then we apply select as rest position, alright, and then we can delete and the original one should have actually this shrink wrapping. Is this even correct? Well, the fact is the bone display are not allowing me to. Yeah, okay, so it's just the that we need the custom shapes, right? So let's check here. Yeah, so it's Alt Enter, Alt Enter, Alt Enter, Alt Enter, Alt Enter, and we are going to augment these ones. No, hold on. It's just about these ones. You see their colors are wrong. We're gonna bring them forward, make them larger. Doesn't do anything. So just okay. So whatever. This is confusing, but what does that mean is that this is the. This is why sometimes I dislike using custom shapes. They are not sometimes easy to reorganize their shapes. Yeah, they're not their shapes, their scales, their transforms. It's annoying sometimes. So these could be some more important bones, so you could have another hierarchy level here. Could be this one. So this will be main, and then Control F2 bones, set name, main, eyelids, corners, yeah, whatever, left. Inner corner, and outer corner. So this is just, oh yeah, and then so to solve this we'll have, because the parenting relation is not affecting, although we could solve that, but actually parenting here, okay, so there is a way to solve this, I believe, in this proportional editing method. So we need the head bone, we parent everything here to the, let's hope this works. And so what I need here is that now I believe if I parent, yeah, let's also change the this b-bone scale here. They can also be larger, that will help. And yeah, these tweaked bones are from, we just want to visualize this one. Let's go back here. So they all have the same parent, and it's an outer parent. So if I get these, however, to be parent to this, same problem. So and the problem is that I cannot make a parent relation like this, because that will be like a 100% influence. It will ruin my proportional posing. So okay, but it's okay to parent the bones to the higher hierarchy one like that. It's just that these bones don't It's just that the, yeah, now I have to reparent this, so let's do it again. Parent everything there, so we lose the parenting that we've made here. So this is still okay to do. The proportional posing won't be ruined. Hold on. Yes, the bones are safe here if we move the head, so this is what we want for a proportional posing. What is deforming is the eyelids, because this bone head is a deformed bone. It doesn't got the head yet, so that's not the problem. So it's working, so we can do the parenting, but we will need to set this by copy transforms bone constraints. So we're going to, so since these ones don't have copy transforms, now they will have. So copy transforms, but before the shrink wrap, and then of course is local with owner and local space, and before original. And so now we see that if I bring this bone, yes, it's just as posing this bone, right? It's just that it is higher on hierarchy. Actually, here we could make some improvement, maybe. Like, this is moving too little. Maybe. Yeah. We haven't tried the bottom ones, or did we, for the values? Oh, we did. So, yeah. All right. So, so this is set. But something else is not set, is yes the, so let's just copy here. We could go full copy here, because let's enable the screencast. Let's go full copy here. Because alright, so we can use now this to move both simultaneously if we don't want. Yes, I know it's confusing the way I've done here, is they are stacking in some bad way. Maybe I need to make some more changes here. Let's move this to the side. Same here, let's translate this somewhere far away so it will become clearer, right? Yeah. More readable. I think this is valuable. So here we need to do the same thing here. Let's it's this one. So actually let's do the following. We disable that for a moment, and then we pick this and we copy, right? Then okay, it's here, but we change the target, right? And then we pick this and this, and this is the active. We copy everything, and there we go. So parenting, you go, there we go. If you have another bone between the head bone and this, then that is parented to the head instead, then yes, we can have a safety region to have not this kind of mess here, but it's not required. That will work. Is that parented to the head? Also is parented to the head. So now if I were to look here, yes, and now, oh, I need to, so maybe the motion there is not the most useful one for animation, but it's pretty accurate, right? The deforms are pretty smooth, I'm liking. So we need the symmetrize, right? So in this case we don't have anything to care about. It's totally symmetrize everything except for the as we should expect the wave painting probably will not be working, and the shrink wrap. Yeah, so shrink wrap, we need to change the targets. Does this have shrink wrap? Yes. As we see, it hasn't been changed. And wave painting. Alright, so for the wave painting we need to go on pose. Where are the bones? They are all here. Oh, I think I got it. The shrink wrap manipulation didn't work because these are deformed bones and these are non-deformed bones. This is why they didn't change simultaneously. Interesting. This looks like more like a bug, but wait, no, that is, what have I done? Here. Yeah, it's clear that these bones are shrink wrap. Yeah, here to the right. There we go. But there's no wave painting, and this wave painting is double. So what we need here, we can hide this for now. We can, let's not hide the mesh. We need it. Then we go into bone groups. We need to, let's bone layers. Let's hide this. Let's just select the controls, and oh, we forgot to paint this color here as sign. All right. Okay, so select this and select this and hide. Then this should be done manually, unless there's an operator that would auto-symmetrize. I don't think there's something like that. Maybe an add-on. I'm not aware right now. So the right side vertex groups, they do exist. Oh no, these are for other setups. Sorry folks. So these vertex groups, they don't exist. I'm going to say it because I find this is dangerous. So technically, so what is the name? Let's pick one of these. For example, wave paint mode. Yeah, let's pick this one. So yeah, it has, we cannot select multiple vertex groups at once, but there might be an operator that can mirror active group to symmetrize selected bone groups. Oh, symmetrize all groups. Okay, maybe this is no, hold on. I need to make this no, this is a mistake. Okay, pose mode, I want this selection, edit mode. Still, well, I have the selection, so that's fine. I go here. Do I have properly the selection? I think I've lost it. Okay, here we go. Yes. If this is correct, then no, It might have worked for one bone, so it didn't work entirely. Yeah, so it worked for this pair here. This is what is bugging, because we cannot have multiple selections here, so this is strange. Symmetrize all groups, so let's try that, which can be dangerous. So I'm going to save. Seems that something happened. But no, we actually lost. No, it's symmetrized. Okay, I'm going to load this. It's a tragedy. Okay, so let's do the way that I know. Okay, so this is done. If you folks know a way. These are just deformed bones, so it's okay to give them these ways. This works this way because of the mirror modifier. Maybe I'm having this difficulty using these operators because they might not have been set to work with a mirror modifier, but with mirrored mesh, right? So maybe that's the reason. And because I only mostly work with mirror modifier turn on, then I didn't have the experience to see if they work out in other ways. So okay, so I'm gonna go as a hide. I'll hide one by one just to be sure. So wait to double check. Yes, so yeah, a lot of tiny bones, so but that got it done. So folks, for the last setup here, we were hold on, where's the here? What is this? The head bone got. No, this is the empty cube. We don't fix that. So new collection, custom shapes. We don't want to be seeing this. Then Vladimir Olotsky, welcome. How are you doing? This is probably the last session I'm doing on this class, or at least is the last setup from this sequence. So right here we've made 4 setups with these, all using the same eye surface mesh object, which is a smooth spherical, curved surface, but it's not a spherical eye, an eyeball even. But we've made 4 setups with that, and yeah, I'll have to organize all this stuff. It might be pretty boring to watch this organization, so I think I'm not going to showcased this. It's just like I'm going to, for each, so I have a first scene which will be the original, so scene org, one org, original, it will have all combined stuff. Then we'll have a scene with the first setup, a scene with the second setup, a scene with the third setup, and a scene with the last setup, which is the one that I've just finished here. So what is happening here is that we have a legion of mini bones, mini deformed bones, these ones. They themselves, they are shrink wrapped through bone constraint to the eye surface mesh object, which is different. This is one object and this is another, so the shrink wrap must be different. The target here left must be right there. We need to adapt that on symmetrization. We need to adapt manually. Then each of these bones are shrink wrapped. Just as the control bones, they are also shrink wrapped, but they can move outside, so you can still manipulate these in an easier way. It's easier to manipulate, but they won't push the deformed bones forward, although they'll cause some lateral motions, but that doesn't matter. While this shrink wraps outside surface in a certain distance, which helps again interpenetration. So this is a static value we can adapt, but this is the value that I found here that for this mesh, for this model, would usually interact well to avoid the interpenetrations between the eyelids mesh and the eye surface mesh. So we have also the legion of mini bones, mini deformed bones. We have a system of proportional posing in which, as they get shrink wrapped, each one of them has a copy transforms, only one copy transform for each, to their column control bone, which is, so these three are bone constrained to this control bone here, but this copy transforms for proportional posing is very specific before original, because we want them to be free here to keep whatever, right, just in case. But it could be replaced, it wouldn't really change too much. Then the first one, which is the red one, this row of the red ones is the most important one. It has a 100% influence here, so it just follows strictly. And this is a custom shape, and that's why it's offset. Otherwise, they are exactly on the same place. And then what happens that these have a different, slightly less. It must be this setup, target local space and owner local space. That's the target. Although it targets local space of this bone, actually it uses its own orientation. So as I move this and I rotate, the orientation is not exactly the same, as you can realize here, but anyways it will suffer the transforms on its own axis. So if I rotate this, it will use its axis as a reference. So this is very important. Otherwise, if that was local space, we might not see here very well in this example, but so we could use local space here, but this is more accurate. If the orientation of the bone was very different, this bone to this one, as we transform here, we rotate especially, but sometimes move also. It goes in another direction. It rotates awkwardly, so that's really inconsistent. So we need this target local space with own orientation, then local space. And here it doesn't really matter. It's about our desire to be flexible here. So for each one of them they have here, I'm just explaining this setup. And then what causes the proportional posing here? Yeah, this has even a less one value. So there's a sort of a sequence here. This must be assessed individually for each column. So it may vary, but yeah, or may not, it depends. We need to see if it works well, the deforms. And then instead of them having more copy transforms to other bones, what they have is that the main bone itself is stacking a lot of at least 2 copy transforms. So these ones are being transformed by this and by this slightly. So it has for the first one, it doesn't matter the order here, not really. It matters if the shrink wrap comes first or before. It must come after, otherwise it will be suppressed, because copy transforms affect also the location. So if it goes first, the bone itself, it will lose the shrink wrapping thing, and this maybe for this bone is not relevant, but let's take a look. Okay, this is maybe not a good example, but yeah, for this one, for example, if the shrink wrap goes before, it stops working, and then we start having bad results. So this happens because this is the bone constraints that affect the head joint of the bone, and not the tail of the bone, like the stretch 2 or dumped track bone constraints. So they can work in synchrony here if we put the shrink wrap after, because then first it copy transforms, rotation, location, even scale, and then it shrink wraps. So the shrink wraps is more about the location regarding the surface that is we are shrink wrapped. So this is very curious and so unuseful. And so in this setup we don't need any shrink wrap modifiers, just as other previous setups that I made, except for the first one. So proportional posing, and then yeah, so for each of the control bones we have some sort of proportional posing. So this one is affecting this and this on different amounts. This one is affecting this and this, while each of them these are affecting their own column, right? So you have different dimensions, right? So these are affecting by proportional posing their own rows, nothing else, and the main bones are affecting themselves, the control bones, I mean, they're affecting themselves. We can even have this one affect this one and this one affect this one. It works, it won't make Blender go crazy, curiously. So but we are not doing that. So these ones in the middle, not in the middle, these ones are less important, so they are affected by both this and this. just as this one is affected both by this and this. These are only affected by this external one. They are basal, sort of basal stuff. And so here is the inner. No, this is disabled. Hold on. There we go. And yeah, and everything else is rotating there, because as I rotate this one, these ones will rotate, and will rotate this, and slightly even this one. So we need to be adjusting that, but it's not really complicated. It's very simple. No, not very simple. I would like. It's very logical, very simple to understand as we start to build, and very powerful too. So I'm struggling to find interpenetrations even at this point. So because we place a lot of dedication on that already. So folks, now that we finished the setups, I'm not got to, this file is probably nearly ready. So what I need to do here, and this will be slightly experimental for me, because no, I mean, I just might struggle a little. There are two things I want to do, and that will cause some revision on some stuff, because I really want to have the other eye solution here for this rig, and I want it to be an alternative for the file. So I will make this now, yes, and I'll try to make the texture of the eye also now. So I'm more intrigued by making the eye surface. So the problem is that I started this not as a sphere object. So this might not be optimal in the end. I'm a bit concerned. So instead, let's, okay, origin. Let's create a new object, which will be a mesh sphere. Then we are going to move this sphere. We're gonna call it eyeball asymmetric, right? Left. Then we want to rotate this like this. I don't know the orientation. Actually, let's not do this. Let's do this. And its origin in its own center. Is this correct? I'm not really sure. Maybe this is not good. It will use a lattice modifier to. So we're gonna hide these eye surfaces, and we are going to try to. Yeah, can't we get this as a wireframe for now? Maybe. It has a lot of subdivisions for the shrink wrapping features, especially shrink wrap bone constraints, I think. So, but itself it has very little subdivisions, right? Doesn't matter. So, okay, we have this eyeball. There are tutorials, right, that show this method. So should we? I'm moving this in, I'm rotating it in, yeah, let's move it here. Yeah, I'm losing the center of reference anyways, the origin, I guess. But this we can, the geometry we can refix, right? Okay, changing the location here. Okay, what I'm doing here. Let's see if this viewport display wire. Oh yes, I see. We need to show optimal display. No, that's it. So here we see the grid of all the subdivisions of that object. So we're gonna make it unselectable, so we can select this one which is below. So now this is good, and because it will be a different curved surface, I'm not trying to match right as I deform it with lattice. So let's start building another file here. So next iteration, just in case something goes very wrong. And okay, I need more space here, sorry. But if something appears here in the chat, I'll be able to see. So here, let's create a new object. It will be from this cursor lattice. Where it is? Okay, it's small, so can I do that from edit mode? I think yes, it's root stuff. And yeah, so should the eye be facing right straight? Doesn't look ideal, but yeah, for this character, why not? So they are exactly on this position, so we can move them down. We need to create a modifier here for this eyeball. It's a perfectly spherical eyeball, except that now it will suffer the lattice transform. And vertex group, no, doesn't need strength. Yeah, strength maximum. Actually, we could also get subdivision surface before the lattice, I hope. And let's get it, I was at 5, but that on a mesh that was, wow. This amount is good. It resembles the other grid right there of the mesh, so the wireframe of the other mesh. Render, yes, same thing. Then the lattice is like that. We need to keep deforming this, and yeah, so now it starts to begin. We could have more subdivisions of the lattice, right? Oh, yeah, that's it. So there's the lattice object, has some possibilities of giving more yeah, so forgive me, I'm not really used to this thing, so yeah, this should be relevant, but then we need to, so I've already made adjustments on, unfortunately, on the edit mode, right? So maybe proportional editing at this point. Yes, it works. So this is now where I need to try to match this crazy grid to the other, it's going to be a bit challenging. So let's push that back, yeah, because okay, slowly we probably are getting to get it done, but I believe I need to have some better reference, like painting. I should be able to have a color, otherwise it might be really difficult to visualize this, right? So let's select this, and we are on the solid viewport shading, so we just need perhaps to give this temporarily a why the eye is not, oh, it's still a grid, of course. So why so textured, nope, for some reason the material didn't. Do I need to apply this color? No, this makes no sense. Okay, let's copy this and oh, it's not there, not object, it is here. Ah, there we go. Alright, so now let's hope that will help. Also, let's make these meshes unselectable also. This should help. These also, let's make it is parented to what? What is its parent relation? No parent. And the lattice, why it is outside here, makes no sense. Let's bring to collection. Alright, so let's make this unselectable, so I can only select the so can push it back. I think now I'm reaching the intersection. It is difficult to see from the face. The face was necessary for the starting condition, but especially here for the side parts, whatever, the bottom part and the lower part, all this, right? We need those to know to which extent the eye must be, right? However, at some point now we need to work not looking at the eyes, the face, but looking at the eye surface. because the problem is that I've already rigged this model with this face region with that reference. So the ideal thing is that if I had started with this shape instead of an eye surface, then I could duplicate and cut off the mesh and take, like, apply the lattice, take the same exact same mesh, so I wouldn't have to retake everything. But okay, we are doing this. Let's try to put this in the center here. Yeah, here it's clear that we need to match this curve. Optimal display for this, maybe this is not good anymore. I mean, using optimal display might be better now. And these also, these eye surface also, no, not this, sorry, the eyeball asymmetric. Let's try to also use optimal displays. What about this? Maybe this is less confusing. We could use more subdivision, but this doesn't need to be perfect. Yeah, it'll never be perfect in this way, but if I have just a good approximation, that should be good. So maybe I need to improve this. I have to have more vertices, right? This is really difficult to understand what's going on here. This got disorganized as hell. As the back part, let's try to have them. Can we smooth these things? I don't think there's a smooth tool here for that. Yeah, no, there don't seem to have shear. No. Though there is proportional editing. There's a lateral one. Yeah, so this is one of the first challenges of making stylized eyes, cool stylized eyes, right, in 3D. We have to struggle with these curves. It's and adapting them to the 3D shape of the face of the is quite tricky, to my experience. Oh no, you just have to. No, it's Now working on this with just a surface is more straightforward, because then I don't have to see all this mess, right? And so far, all right. So what are the options here? It is working though, so it's just some patience that is required. Here I think I can get this curve there. The problem is that we never know exactly, yeah, so for example here we don't see how to which extent we are above or below, right? So this is, maybe this should go slightly, yeah, something here. And okay, let's try this. Although so let's show everything back. If I hide the eye surface, and well, was it okay? So this is the original. If I get it here, we see that we have more or less okay, this is not a bone to be manipulating here, folks. This is for other setups. So here is the last setup, what is being deformed. So you see that although the mesh is following the other mesh object, this is actually more or less accurate, the positioning that I've made. Yeah, not so good, but on some regions, but it's mostly work. So if I were to adapt this, first let's see if this idea is how that works. So technically, if we have a bone that rotates this, if I yeah, so this is the object, or is the lattice that needs to be moved? So if I rotate, oh, I rotate the eye, not the lattice. So that's, so let's see the center there. It works. It's crazy. The question is, don't the UVs get a bit crazy on this thing? So yeah, I cannot, let's rotate on. My question is this actually good for the posing of the orientation of the eyes? It's an alternative to UV warp modifier, right? So I'm curious about this, but yeah. So basically this mesh object must be, yeah, we need a bone setup for the eye rig, but I don't have for the eye surface. So now I'm a little puzzled personally, because I've made a tutorial about UV warp modifier. There already exist tutorials about this thing that I'm just was partially successful here. By the way, if you're curious, there is Yeah, so it's lattice eye, cartoon eyes. So there is this tutorial.
Awesome. So we can.
From 3D school. It's 4 years old tutorial and I already showed that technique in the end, but it shows the example with an eye that might not be the case of like I remember this tutorial, I think, for the only problem is that oh, but there's eyelids, there are a lot of things going on, so but the technique is there nonetheless. It's just not splitted into different applications, so this is what confused me, but the technique is there. And then there is a live stream of so lattice eye from is that what? Yes, there's this Deco stream where he explains the method here. Exactly at this point.
Colors.
So you can creating 3D characters in Blender live stream, yeah. And then yeah, so it's an eyeball just as I've made. Then there's a lattice.
Let's check it out. So we've got the originals, you got the new sphere. Oh, so that's in the rotations.
And there you go. Yeah, rotating the eye, right?
The mesh. Yeah.
So yes, so basically, because there are those references, I think I'm not gonna showcase here all the process of making these the eyes rig. Also, not only because the tutorials about this already exist, but also because this setup is mostly for eyelids, so this goes beyond. But yeah. So I'm trying to simplify stuff. I will never be able to have, yeah, this will be a tons of work. So alright folks, the setups are done. I'm gonna split the scenes, and for the eye thing, that will be up to you guys or girls, or unless if I get the patience to make this double thing. But then there is this problematic of the shape. Isn't there a way to... No, because it's a adaptation to the lattice, right? I cannot adapt the lattice to shrink wrap to vertices of the lattice to wait, does this has... No, it doesn't have a vertex. What? Yeah, no, but these don't match the mesh. It's useless. It's not, it's just a projection. It's not the same thing. So yeah, I cannot have exactly the same curve. And if I start to build this stuff there, what I'll end up having is that I have to adapt all the 4 wave painting on whatever the bones. I'll have a new surface and all thing will be perhaps dangerously displaced. It will be slight stuff, but this will like annoying, right? It will be inadequate. So at least I can show that this thing exists here and we can use that method. I'll mention in the descriptions, right? So I think, yeah, so there's no need to use this. I'm going to save nonetheless and split and as soon as it is completed, this scenes organization, I will post the final project, the file, and that will be available for everyone on Gumroad for free, but you can contribute also. So folks, thanks for watching. This was a very long class, but we've built a lot of stuff, and with slightly some experimental stuff, especially on the tree, which is a mixed stuff. Hybrid stuff with had little troubles with the most troublesome one, while these trees worked very well, I think. So instead, maybe I'm going to leave this as the last one, like a hybrid madness. So that's it, folks. Thanks for watching. Hope that was instructive and interesting, and hope to see you soon on whatever going next. So that this class is over. Finally, I just need to finish the project, and then I'll see what is going to be next. Happy blending, and take care, folks. See ya next time. Pxy-CLASS.